Hey!
2 times.
2 times. Look, it was in the 1-7 ratio.
Yeah. No,
welcome.
You called it 1-7.
1-7. Welcome, friends, to the law of averages. I mean, feral ladies.
Hi.
Hello.
We are doing
My hair
so
doing?
great.
Why are we doing so great, Marisa? What happened?
We're doing so great for so many reasons. In the last 24 hours, somebody on this call finished a sequel. Somebody, I guess it's a video, whatever. Somebody, maybe you can guess based on reactions. I don't know. I'm trying to be mysterious. Somebody on this video for you all just broke 100K on her sequel. And somebody else finished a short story in a relatively small amount of time, despite having a long time to write it. So,
That's right.
all very valid, if very different scales of success, but whomst amongst us.
Right.
Yeah, and we are recording this a little later than we planned, but given all the things that we have done in the last 24 hours, so be it. That's why it's not a live, guys. This is why sometimes we record for you.
Sometimes you forget because you're cleaning the toilets, and sometimes it's a Monday. And sometimes it's both those reasons.
Sometimes it's a very Monday. Just
sometimes you're like, I have time to make this this. Oh, sorry. I have time to make this.
Minute 48.
Yeah, here we go. Sometimes it's a minute 48 in and you're dropping F-bombs. I'll just leave it at that. Let's do it. Yeah. Thanks, producer Jeremy.
Yes. It's also
buy you more cake next time.
Yes, Kacey did deliver sweet treats to me and my husband, not a euphemism, today, which was quite delightful.
Baked goods.
Literal baked goods. It was pretty amazing. Like to the point that producer Jeremy got home from work, walked inside, and he was like, "Oh, there's a lot of people in my house right now." And Kacey was like, "We brought you baked goods," and he was like, "Well, that's all I ever asked for."
He's cool. He's cool with me invading his living room so long as I bring the sweets. So
I mean, I would say the days he gets home and Kacey isn't in my living room, he's probably a little disappointed because I am happier on those days. But to also, therefore, get his own present, he was quite delighted. So
I know that I have a reputation for telling the internet how hot my husband is, and he is. He's incredibly hot.
Of course,
yes. Like distractingly so. However, I would like to point out that, and I knew this academically, but today I have also made the discovery that yet another feral lady on this call has a husband who is quite attractive, especially when he wears a ball cap and sunglasses and walks in the door. So I was like, damn, girl, well done.
Lock that shit down. We're 3 for 3 on this call, and I'm so proud of all of us.
I mean, for sure. Yes. Like I said, academically, I am very well aware that all 3 of our husbands are very attractive men.
We're all very monogamous, but we can appreciate. And Jeremy also had worked out and then come home, and that's very.
Yeah. So he had the workout shirt on and the muscle pump. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I was like, okay, do you need us to leave? Because we can go. We can go.
Alas, no time. It has been nonstop.
We're doing so great.
Yes, we are doing so great. It's been a busy day, but you know what, y'all? On this day, the day of the recording, which will not be the day you see this, you are welcome. No. Maybe we will be more than half a brain cell shared between the 3 of us at that point. Probably not, but maybe. On this fine day in the relative past that you were watching this, I made all the food for the week, and I did a bunch of edits, and I hung out with cool friends and talked to other cool friends because they have the nerve to not live near me. And I admired my husband objectively and objectifyingly. And it took me a second to remember that word. And it worked out.
Right?
I'm so proud of you.
Thank
That's
you.
a lot of things.
It's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Oh, and I had meetings and podcasts.
My list isn't quite as distinguished. I took my pet's waste samples to the veterinarian.
It's very important to be fair.
So for the record, it appears that Atlas is fine. I did get his blood work results back, and he seems okay. And interestingly enough, the minute I opened up the email, he was at the back door whining to go out because the vet had told us he can't go outside until after we get the results back. And I was like, bro, how the hell did you see this? You can't read a phone. But I still haven't let him out. He's right over there being mad.
He's like, I'm still game, actually.
Yeah, I could.
Let me murder.
Wrong way. No, he's over here. Hang on. He's right. You see that little orange lump?
There. He is sulking.
He's sulking.
Yeah, he's sulking. He's got his back to me and everything.
I am familiar with that from Olive. She is a dog, but sulks similarly to a cat.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did that. And then I went to, I did check out a fun coffee shop / bakery in my neighborhood that I think we should definitely do some writing things at. And I got delicious sweet treats and hung out with another friend of the show's, Trisha Woldridge, who's another local author. We had lunch, and so we talked about all the things. And then I was like, "Get in the car, Trisha. We're gonna go to Marisa's house. Not Marisa. We hate that bitch.
We don't like
her. And we went and hung out at Marisa and kept her from doing the things that she needs to do for a couple of hours until her objectively attractive husband got home. And then we were like, we should probably go."
The right call.
I just feel like that's my role, right? Like I talk about how hot our husbands are on the internet.
I love it.
So, internet, you'll be happy to know I'm not the only blessed one.
My favorite. I will not go into details because sorry, internet, it's just not that kind of show. But Kacey said something true and fantastic and also funny in the chat that we had at one point, and then she was going to read it out loud, but Melissa's husband was in the hearing vicinity, and she's like, "Ooh, should I read it out loud? Do you just want to read it?" And Melissa's like, "Oh, fucking okay, go ahead, read it out loud." And she did, and all you hear from afar, because the husband was a slightly afar in the room, but you just hear like, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah. Which, to be fair, I should have expected because Dan is a fellow aviator, and he knows what dirty bitches we are. And that is a gender neutral bitches, by the way.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
all aviators.
No shame.
In this our year,
zero shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, complete horn dogs. It's part of our DNA. That's just who we are.
Oh my God, I love it. It was great. It was a highlight. How about you, Melissa? How has your day gone? We know it ended in toilets, but otherwise.
That's right. And you cut your husband's hair, so tell us about how hot he is.
So after a lovely day in the office at my day job office, I got to keep Marisa on the company on the phone while she did all of her food prep, so can verify that she did above and beyond there.
Oh, and her house smelled amazing, by the way. I forgot that detail. It smelled really yummy. I walked in. I just had lunch. I walked in, and I was immediately hungry.
Oh my God. I come home and I immediately start doing dishes and dinner prep and cleaning the toilets because our mutual friend Kristen is going to be visiting tomorrow. We're going to have her over for a barbecue. I'm very excited. But that
not jealous at all. So happy for you, and not jealous at all.
Yes, and cleaning up this disaster of a house. And then my super hot, and I'm not objective about this at all, my super hot husband is like, "Yeah, I need a haircut." I'm like, okay. But there was some flexing involved at one point. I'm like,
nice.
he's always so confused. Like, what are you? Oh, I'm like, yeah.
Did you get your tickets to the gun show?
He says that about every time.
Guns out, guns out. I love it.
Guns out, guns out.
I love it.
Lucky bitches. All of us.
Lucky bitches. Yes, indeed.
Just say all the same words. We're doing so great.
We're sharing half a brain cell tonight, guys. Okay, you're lucky we're speaking words in sort of the right order.
Man, because mouth words are hard, as we previously discussed.
I have no brain left. I finished a novel yesterday. I'm fucking
Yeah.
toast.
That's what I was going to say. Do you guys want to touch on that? Yes. Thank you. Please continue. What happened?
What had happened was I wrote over 10,000 words over the course of Saturday and Sunday, and I finished the sequel to Rise from Ruin.
Woohoo!
And you know, I always think my stuff it's pretty good. Like, I'm pretty good at this. But when I keep Kacey Ezell up until 2:30 in the morning because she's reading it.
It was 2:55 when she messaged. That is 3 a.m.
That's the timestamp. Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
I seen it.
So I didn't tell you guys this, but so my husband is working nights these days. He's actually upstairs asleep right now. And last night it was Sunday night, so he wasn't at work, but he was keeping his schedule. So he stayed up all night. I came downstairs at probably about 10 o'clock and I was still in my pajamas. Hair was a mess. Had like, I think I had brushed my teeth, but I'm not entirely sure. But I like came downstairs and I had like the full on like toddler pout going. And he was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "My head hurts and I didn't get a good sleep and it's all Melissa's fault." And he was like, "Is it though?" And I was like, yes, yes, it is. Because, well, it's kind of my fault a little bit. Because I was like, "Melissa, I need the manuscript. I know you said you're done. Send it. I did. And she did.
Yeah.
And I opened it. And I scrolled to the last point that I had read because I've been, we've been alpha reading for each other. Yeah. And I like quick scrolled and I was like, okay, I haven't read this part yet. And I started reading. And you guys,
so good.
When I tell you that this book takes the like heart organ that is in your chest, hopefully.
Is that where it is?
Belongs. That's where it should be. Okay. But it's not after you read this book because she reaches in like fucking Indiana Jones Kali Ma style and rips it right out of your chest and then like crumples it in front of you and then lights it on fire.
And then laughs.
Laughs. And then when you're like in shock because your heart's just been Kali Ma'd in front of you, she then like gives you this like super cute like baby scene. And you're just like, what the fuck? It's so good. I cannot wait for next year for you guys to read this thing. Yeah.
I'm so red right now. Thank you.
You're welcome. You bitch. You are welcome.
That was pretty great. It was a pretty great message to wake up to this morning. I'm like, I'm not even involved. Like, I haven't read it yet because I didn't finish the story, right? So it's in my inbox mocking me. So this time, neither Jason nor I can claim full first reader.
No, it's me.
Bragging rights this time.
It's me. And I have the book hangover to prove it.
Yeah. We have the timestamp and the message that was basically like, "Your hands aren't clean in this, Melissa. You know you did." And the cackle, I cackled because I read it as soon as I woke up. Like, I woke up, I checked my phone. I hadn't even had coffee yet, and I was just laying in bed cackling. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I had to restrain my cackle because Dan was still asleep. I'm like, "Do not wake him up. Do not wake him up."
Yep.
Well, yeah. So let me tell you about like my recovery from said book hangover, right?
Sure.
So like Easy gave me a big hug and he was like, "Why don't you drink some water?" And so like I got my little,
juice box
Stanley cup, courtesy of Sarah Cannon, who's amazing. Go check her out.
We love her. Yep.
But I got my little cup and I filled it full of water and I was pouting and I went upstairs and I took a shower and I got dressed and all the things. And then I was like, okay. Now
I love the idea that you're pouting through all of this.
I was very pouty.
Sour.
I have an epic pouty lip. Yeah.
I love it.
It was very sad. And so then what did I do then? Oh, and then I read your story. Marisa's story, the one that she finished last night, because she was like, "Hey guys, I think this is solid, but I need some, I think it needs some edits." You guys. I mean, sure. Okay, sure. It's a first draft, right? Like there were a couple of typos, like minor little things. But holy fuck, these girls are so talented. Like they make me feel insecure sometimes because they're so damn good. And you don't get to tell me how I feel, Marisa.
I'm just saying you're wrong. You are rarely wrong.
I am not wrong about how I feel.
You are rarely wrong.
Conversation. You are just as talented.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate that. But this story, you guys, is coming out soon on do we have a date? August on Baen's website, because this is the free short story that is teasing A Plague of Magic, which comes out in September. So both of these things are so good. So I cannot wait for you guys to read this story and to understand like why I was cackling, why I was kicking my feet like a little book talk romance girl, which, to be fair, I am kind of a book talk romance girl. So, whatever, I'll own it. But the hotness, just all the hotness. It was
so good. So Kacey like was ahead of me, and she finished up the story, and I'm at work, I'm doing day job. I got to my break, and I'm like, wow, now I can read it and catch up. And I leave comments as I'm going, and I'm like, am I allowed to swear yet? Is this okay?
Because it's over. It's done. We've already.
Okay, so first it was like, yes, fuck yes, fuck yes, yes. And then it got, motherfucker, you are so good at this. And then finally, you guys, I ran out of curse words. I ran out of them.
Melissa ran out of Melissa.
I got to this point where I was like, you know what? Bitch, you are so good at this. And yes, we still use this word in 2025.
Oh my God.
So good though. So good.
You get it for free. That's the part that like blows my mind. I'm so excited for all of you.
I love that thing.
We all owe Marisa Wolf a great big thank you in advance, because fucking A.
Team DeGore.
You want to talk about
that means yet, but you're gonna.
Yeah. We're gonna get t-shirts made.
We really are.
Yeah. Amazing. So this brings us to our topic of feral ladies. We didn't introduce ourselves. If you don't know who we are, please go watch an older video and go find out. It's great.
Right.
It's fine. This is who we are.
This is who we are.
So
this is the real us, the unfiltered.
We're just here we are. The topic, I can't even quote at the same time, that we gave ourselves for today was to check back in Baen's summer of feral fantasy, feral summer amazingness. And we will. And this brings us there because, yes, this story will be free in August for the September release of A Plague of Magic. I'm not going to tell you the title because it's very tentative right now, and I don't know if that will be the title. So prepare yourselves. However, because we are approximately halfway through, or just about halfway through the summer of feral fantasy with Baen, we have 2 of those books out, each of which came with their own 2 free short stories that you can still access on Baen.com. So, and they're fucking good. Unsurprisingly, to be clear, that I was like, shit, I gotta follow. This is what I gotta follow. You know, it's fine. It's fine.
We're just
zero
issues.
Your story 100% holds up. 100%.
Thank you. Well, bright side, it's good because it was. I was like, oh, I wonder what I'll write, and like in unison, these 2 and Griffin Barber, who was my editor on A Plague of Magic, Melissa's editor for Rise from Ruin, and has worked with Kacey many a time. In unison, these 3 yahoos immediately like, you're writing about DeGore, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess I am writing about DeGore. So they requested it.
I stand by it.
Yeah,
it was a choir.
Yes, we crowdsourced even.
It's the choir from the Hercules movie. It's just the Greek chorus in the back.
DeGore.
Yeah. Little angel and demons on my shoulder. It's fine.
That's right. Both going Team DeGore.
Same thing. It's like when they agree in Emperor's oh my gosh. Anyway, all of that was to say you can check out still these ladies. I don't know which way I'm pointing. Don't hold me to this. Still on Baen.com, but you have to search it by the title. Ladies, would you like to remind people of the titles of your fabulous stories on Baen?
Sure. So mine was featured in May. You will have to search for Choices by Kacey Ezell on Baen.com, and it should pop up. And it is a prequel story to my book, Mage Light. So we get to see a little bit more about life at the Lyceum Bellae, which is basically a magical sorcerer college, but not like Hogwarts.
And tiny secret, because, smug first readers over here. The character that you meet, at least one of the characters in that, you're gonna really enjoy. Yes. because you're going to see them a lot more in the sequel.
Yeah.
They are two of my favorite characters.
Significant eyebrows.
I mean, the eyebrow thing, like Heather does over here.
They are a lot of fun to write. It's so the main characters. I'll say this because it's in the story. The main characters of choices. The main character of choices is Tyrus. He's an Aegeon candidate in training at the Lyceum Belli, and because he's still a candidate, it's not formal yet, but everybody knows, it's been true his whole life, that he is going to be bonded to his twin brother, Acton, who's a very talented mage candidate or mage student. And most of the time, those bonds, this is part of the story, those bonds have to rest on like some kind of emotional connection. Most often it's a romantic one, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. And so for these two guys, they're identical twins. They've grown up, literally side by side their entire lives. And Tyrus has always known that his, when it came down to it, his choice would be his brother. But that means that choice is made. And as we know, choices have consequences. So.
Yep.
Check out the story and get ready.
Check out the story. And then read Mage Light if you haven't already.
Yes.
Okay. Do that. And then Melissa, your story.
And so in June, Rise from Ruin came out, and I got to do a short story. And I was like, there was no hesitation on my part. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I had to tell the story of how the prank war got started, because that prank war is what changed everything for poor Harper. So I wrote This Means War, and it's
great title, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you. So initially it was called Hell Week, because that's like the last week of in-doc training before you get accepted to the Tennyson Bonded Training Academy. But the story didn't actually end up featuring Hell Week at all. So Griffin, our amazing editor, he was like, Melissa, no, let's come up with something better. And we tossed around stuff. We noodled over it. And finally I'm like looking through and one of the last lines is Harper looking at the boys who just pranked the fuck out of her and her going, this means war, right? So that's the title. This means war.
It's amazing.
And it's so good.
It shows Harper when she first meets the three morons, Dimitri, Zane, and Callum. And that story was so critical for me as an author too, because Rise from Ruin, it really focused on Harper's relationship with Keaton, her brother, in every way that matters, right? Keaton is her brother. I really kept the slow burn romantic stuff with Dimitri, slow burn, super subplot. And I'm like, crap, I wasn't feeling it. And then there is one part in that short story where I fell in love with Dimitri, hard. I'm like, oh, okay, yep, this is right. I got it. I can feel it now. And it was amazing to write that story. So still free.
I think we meet Bethany too, don't we?
We meet Bethany, and then there's a few, if you're real
quick Bex. There's you get.
There's a quick Bex. There's a quick Elias. You can actually even there's Keaton in there too. But Harper doesn't know them yet, so she's just describing their physical aspects. So a keen-eyed reader who has already read Rise from Ruin can pick those characters out, but it's subtle.
Yeah. No,
If
it's a great story.
Yeah, I love that. So Melissa, when you see it, when you pick that up, there's nothing, there are a few things more satisfying for authors than when a reader sees what you're doing, even if you're not being
Easter
obvious.
eggs. Yeah.
So in the short story that has not been edited yet, so I believe this will still be there when you get to read it in August, but who knows? There is a character described, and Melissa's comment was, "Oh, hey," to his name, and I was like, I mean, I know it wasn't subtle, but good job, Melissa.
It was subtle, but I caught it. Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, oh,
well,
hello there.
There he is.
Yeah.
So
there he is.
I didn't think I was gonna like that character at first in Plague of Magic, and then as the story goes on, I'm like, okay, yeah, man, I like you. You're fun.
Yeah, he is fun. He is a fun character.
Thanks, guys.
So, I mean, I'm still Team Degore. However,
yeah. You know what? Look,
why
everybody,
choose?
right? Everybody deserves options, and different books will require different things. So
it's true, very true.
I'd also like to remind everybody that everybody hot in our books. Okay, so
everybody's hot.
Everybody hot.
Even the bad guys.
Yes.
Maybe especially the bad guys.
I was gonna say even. Yeah. Everybody's hot. I was also talking about this with Melissa a little while ago, and I was like, You know what? I feel like the default state of characters in a Marisa Wolf book, they're all bisexual. It's fine. Like where they fall in the spectrum.
It's along the spectrum. Yeah.
Who knows? But like everybody is at least appreciative of the hotness.
Right. Yeah.
Like, damn.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm just saying.
I've had a lot of fun writing the sequel to Mage Light with one of the characters that
I know which one.
Because I do this thing where so the character is bisexual, and he plays it up to where he is constantly basically for humorous effect, because like the first time he was like, hey, you wanna, with one of Aelis's dudes, and the dude was like, hey man, I'm flattered, but nah, I'm kind of focused over here. And so the character was like, okay, cool. But then he did it again, and it was obviously for dramatic and comedic effect. And then again, and to the point where it's now like, oh, we need to stop a fight, have this guy hit on this guy, because it will make everybody laugh.
We're all ready. Yeah. I saw, oh man, somebody posted, and it's just a meme of like this gentleman, anonymous gentleman on the internet going on a rant of like, it's not bisexual if you're just attracted. Otherwise, everyone would be bisexual. It's only if you actually follow through. And the like caption is, "Who's gonna tell him?
Who's gonna tell him?"
Like, my love, no, that counts. Like, if you are, yes, that is a thing. But we're not here to lecture you. Yes,
right. We're not here to label you or judge you or We're just here to talk about how hot our characters are.
Yeah,
all
monogamous, not blind. Yeah,
they are all
monogamous, not blind.
Monogamous, not blind, right?
Yeah, she says it all the time, and I love it. We were.
How have I never heard this before?
I know she says it a lot. We announced it to like a crowd of people at LibertyCon because LibertyCon often coincides with this bodybuilder convention competition situation, and it's nice. It's nice for everybody. And so this fucking gorgeous Amazon walks by. So we're sitting in the lobby or like the bar area, I think, and it's like a big glass thing. And here comes this, like, maybe the heels, I don't know, but she had to be like almost 6 feet tall. And she was gorgeous, and she was in her competition bikini, and like she just looked amazing. And Melissa was like, look, like she made sure everybody saw it, and she was like, monogamous, not blind. And I was like, yeah. High five.
Gorgeous. I'm like, that much work deserves to be appreciated in a non-creepy way.
Fully agree.
Yes.
Right? Fully agree. Yeah.
And I made sure that my evil twin Nick also, I'm like, Nick.
Everybody needs to enjoy. Like,
right.
Amazing. Anyway,
here
we are. .com.net, we go both ways. It's fine.
No shame.
Monogamous, not blind. So here we are.
because of Marisa, apparently.
Yeah, well,
hey,
resist really.
Exactly.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch all our other videos. You'll catch it. It's hilarious.
Oh, this one, that particular moment will be on a Baen Free Radio Hour.
That's right. It was the Baen Free.
It was when we were talking about this one.
Yeah. Which comes out this week that we're recording.
Tomorrow as we're recording this.
Yeah.
So fun.
So while you're watching it, it's out right now and you should check it out.
Yeah.
Because there are some really cool names in that anthology.
Yeah. We can talk about that again too.
Yeah. So the story is, this is not part of Feral for Fantasy, obviously, but I love the story of how this anthology came to be. So can you hold it up again, Marisa? Melissa, mine's upstairs, but I don't know if you guys can see the cover art, but it is this amazing painting of this like very cool, like giant alien monster creature facing off against some like World War II-esque maybe soldiers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really see what they were dressed like, but but soldiers dressed in a way that we would recognize from our own history. And they had this art, and they, I guess, from what I understand, Baen had commissioned the art for another project, but they ended up going a different direction with the cover, which is fine. It happens all the time, right? But the art was still there, and it was so cool. Yeah, it's a Kurt Miller cover.
Yeah.
And
Gorgeous.
Jason saw it and was like, hey, Tony, what if I edit an anthology based on the stories that are like with this art as the prompt? So he basically contacted, the authors that were invited to participate and said, I'm going to give you this picture, write me a story about it, and we'll include it in Dancing with Destruction. And I just love it because you get such a diversity of stories, right? So I know Melissa Olthoff and Nick Steverson co-wrote Bug Hunt, which was braided with my story Bug Out. And the three of us, when we got together to talk about this, we were like, well, we obviously have to pull inspiration from Aliens and also a little bit of like Starship Troopers, because that's what, the human soldiers facing off against, this gargantuan alien. So that's how we tackled it. But like, you also have Jacob Hollow and Edie Skye, who went a totally different direction with it.
Yeah, they went Predator.
Yeah.
But then also,
sure, 80s action films, but but it's a very different story. It's very cool. Yeah. Marisa, you worked with David Weber, and you guys had a totally different direction too. It was very fun.
Yeah.
It
was super fun. Also, it was so we talked about this on the Baen Free Radio Hour a little bit too, but it was really cool because it's my first collaboration with David. And it was Jason's idea. He's like, hey, David has agreed to do this short story, but you guys are gonna be working together. And wouldn't it be cool, Marisa, if you guys worked on something a little like less low stakes than Honorverse for your first project together? And I was like, that would be cool, Jason. And he's like, cool. You happen to be at Superstars with David right now. Go talk to him. And I was like, okay, I see how it is.
Yeah. Jason's not an idiot. He knows how to choose his moment.
So smart. He's so smart. Very smart. I do think though that I was like, hey man, why don't you reach out to him? So it's not like, let me horn in on all your projects, David Weber.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But David is wonderful and gracious. And he was like, heck yeah, let's do it. And it was super fun. So it was a super fun story too. So, read my first collaboration with David Weber, kicks off the anthology, and then stay for all the awesome stories that follow. They're so good.
Indeed.
They're so good. So those aren't feral fantasy, but they are, you can fall hard for sci-fi.
They're still feral.
Yeah. So
nice tie-in.
If you were at LibertyCon, I think I actually do have it somewhere nearby. I'm just going to go unpack the debacle that is my desk right now. So the geniuses at Baen, and that is not sarcasm. That is like the geniuses at Baen, not only made Go Feral for Fantasy badge ribbons, which, oh my God, I love so much. They also are going to follow up our Summer of Feral Fantasy with fall. I don't know if you can actually read it, but Fall Hard for Sci-Fi.
So brilliant. I love it. And I'm so mad that I don't have a sci-fi release this fall to fall into it, right? Because it's a great
lever.
I do.
You do. Yeah.
I do.
You do.
Yeah. Yes, come join. So in November, my second fun thing, my first venture into the Honorverse. So the anthology is called Challenges, edited by, go figure, David Weber, and with excellent project management and support by Tom Pope, who is amazing. It's 5 really, really great stories from the very early days. So well before Honor's time, the very early days of Manticore's settlement, basically. So there's plague stories. There's a pretty awesome tree cat story. There's a Stephanie story. Like, oh my God, so great. It's a Saganami story. It's so good. Everything's good.
No. You don't get just.
We're not. No.
Mm-mm. You do not get to just
now.
Roll past that. Marisa's story in that made me cry.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, I'm pretty sure it made David Weber cry.
Mm-hmm. He just teared. It got a little misty.
You checked?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It counts.
It was so.
Oh, you guys.
Which should shock nobody here that we're saying something that Marisa wrote is good, but her first Honorverse story, and I'm reading this like can I have more? There's no more. I'm like, Marisa, could you please write this extra scene for me because my little romance heart needs it.
And I did.
And she
Why
did.
are there no more words?
Yeah. So I finished that story 3 times. Here we go. Early secrets ahead of the November release. I will probably tell the story again, but you all will hear it first. So I wrote the story. Melissa read it when it was in shambles, like it was mostly brackets. As did Tom.
Good.
Thank God for Tom Pope. He read it full shambles, gave great thoughts. I unshambled it slightly. So Melissa reads it and she's like, I love it. It's wonderful. Here are the things. Here's great feedback. Blah, 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 blah. Also, could you just like, even if it doesn't go in the story, just write this particular scene for me? And the second she said it out loud, I was like, no, I'm not putting it. But immediately my brain was like, yes. And like fully written. It was fully written in my brain. And I'm like, no, I'm done. I've written the story. I've got to turn it in. No. And then I was like, I'm just going to write it for her. And so I just wrote it and I sent it to her in like Messenger. And she was like, bitch, if you don't put this in the story, I'm going to lose my shit. She's like,
I read it like 5 times in a row before I even messaged her back in all caps. Yeah. I think I read that scene like 10 times at this point because I'm like, oh, my heart. And also, oh my God, damn, so good.
So I put it in and I said, so I was like, okay, fine. So I put it in the story and I sent it up to Tom and I was like, hey, I added the scene. Melissa specifically requested, she said, please, can we keep it? But I totally understand if you want to cut it. And he's like, we're keeping it.
Nope.
I love Tom.
And as a matter of fact, then Tom was like, as a matter of fact, here's an idea. And I was like, God damn it. Because like Melissa, he was spot on right. And I had to add that scene too. And it's a way better story because of the two of them. Blah, blah, blah. They were very important scenes to add. But it did feel like the story that was like, I mean, it's an Honorverse story, right? So it's totally cool that it's like 15,000 words.
So Feral Ladies fans, here's your challenge, right? Come November, you need to get challenges, read Marisa's story, and then let us know if you can decipher which scenes were Melissa's scene that she requested, demanded, required, and begged for, threatened Marisa over,
there were threats.
And which scene was Tom Pope's,
brilliant
slightly
addition,
less dramatic, but equally brilliant addition. So
he knew to this
challenge issued.
Issues for challenges. It was adorable too because I wrote back to Tom and I was like, God damn it, Tom, you're exactly right. I have to add this scene. And then the next time we talked, he's like, I knew you were going to say yes, but I needed to make sure that you knew it was optional. I was like, oh, you sneaky genius.
I love how you portray him as like this, like Smithers, like which he's not. Tom is a wonderful, incredibly kind, very generous, beautiful person. But
speaking of, I don't think I've shown this on the internet streets yet.
I don't think you have.
Tom has been 3D printing Honorverse ships because, good God, outside of David Weber's brain, the biggest expert on Honorverse tech is Tom. And so he's been making them. And so he made the ship from my story. Look at this little tiny ship and its giant sails. And he's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And
very
beautiful.
Cool.
I love it so much. It sits right next to me on my desk so I can admire it on the regular. And I will tell you, and here's how you know Tom is not a Smithers little mastermind crazy person. He's wonderful because he specifically got, I don't know if you can tell in this light, but it's sparkly purple.
It is a gorgeous sparkly purple.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
So anyway, I love it so much. He is wonderful and brilliant and not at all sneaky, but he was very smart because I do not like being told what to do, which I feel like some people might have picked up along the way. But he knew, because it was such a perfect addition, he knew when he suggested it that I would not be able to say no to it. But he's like, but you needed to know it was optional. It's like, you're an evil genius. It's fine. Good times. So anyway, so sci-fi. But
anyway,
back to Feral
for fantasy.
Feral for fantasy for the summer because it is still according to my thermometer, fucking summer out there.
Yep.
94 degrees. Yep.
Yeah. So next out, we have Erin Haskins' book.
Kacey Haskins.
Kacey Haskins. Yeah. So this is actually a book too, and I apologize, I don't have like any of the graphics, but maybe because we were so complimentary to producer Jeremy earlier in the show, maybe he'll
write the times down. Yeah.
Flash it on up. 4015 for Erin. So Erin's first book is Blood and Whispers, and then the second one is Blood and Fate. And the second one comes out this month, July. Month, no,
August.
It will be.
Is it July yet?
It comes out in August.
But it comes out in August. No feral fantasy in July. So July is our month of celebration, midway point.
Yes. Okay. So disregard. So next month, in August, it will be out, and it is if you like if you are a firearms enthusiast, if you enjoy your hard-bitten detectives with great magical power and a penchant for whiskey, and you like shooting evil fairies in the face, or you think you might like shooting evil fairies in the face, if given the opportunity to do so, you guys, this is the book for you. So yeah, it's very much like a sort of urban fantasy noir type situation, not so much with the YA friendly, not like some of our other feral urban fantasy. This is definitely a grown-up book, but it's awesome, you guys. And the gunplay has been complemented by professional firearms instructors, by law enforcement officers, so if you're that kind of person, where that kind of stuff is, if you liked John Wick, probably read this book.
You probably like this one. Yeah. And then just last month, I don't know if you've picked this up, but just last month, this motherfucker came out.
Sorry, I thought we were.
No, it's okay. No, we got to go backwards because we didn't talk. We talked a lot about Rise from Ruin in June, or in our May, whatever. When we kicked this off, we talked about it. But we're going to talk about it a little bit more because here's the thing. At LibertyCon, at least 30 copies of this got sold in person. Like Melissa sold over 20. The wonderful bookseller of the missing volume sold
Glennis.
Several. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if we.
Maybe we weren't saying her name.
I don't know.
My bad.
But we love you, Glennis. You're amazing. So thank you for letting us say your name on the internet. And it's fine. But like people were obsessing about this book. This wonderful gentleman came to our table and like talked to Melissa for like 15 minutes about all the things he loved, mentioned it in our reading. It was amazing. And he was right about everything. You're very smart, Kevin. So that was so great. And now when Melissa is doing her stupidly amazing, adorable, wonderful freaking reels all the time, so good. There is inevitably somebody, usually a stranger, who will respond like different every time, who's just like, "Oh my God, I love this book." It's like, yeah, you fucking did. It's amazing.
It's going.
It's
like
up
upward trajectory. Yeah. And she just finished the sequel.
It's done right now. It's done.
The irony is that Kacey is not only the first one to read it, she's the only one to read it because I haven't even read it all the way.
Melissa hasn't read the whole thing. I'll catch up. I will catch up before this episode airs.
I'm so excited to go back and read what I wrote because it took me about 3 months to write it. And I'm like, I don't.
You're going to cry.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you cried when you wrote it, but you're going to cry again when you reread it. So.
Guys, I can't get through certain parts of Rise from Ruin, and I had to edit those parts. Like, I think it was like 7 different rounds of edits between me and friends and like, Griffin and Tony, and I'm like, oh God, I've got to read this again.
Still stabbing me in the heart.
Callie Ma, just say it.
Just right in your face. Your bleeding heart will bleed in your face. It's fine.
And then explode. Yeah.
Yep.
It'll be fine.
Please to enjoy. You're going to recover. You'll grow another one somehow. It's fine. It's magic. So you should definitely read Rise from Ruin. So after A.C. Haskins' book that comes out in August, There will be releases in September. So if you do like, well, let's start with when.
I'm like, I'm ready. I've got this.
That was epic.
That was really good. Like slow motion focus in. Oh my goodness. The incomparable Wen Spencer has also a book 2, also a YA, or also an urban fantasy. This one a YA. So it is book 2 of her Black Wolves of Boston series, and it is so much fun. It is. You will laugh. You will enjoy. It will be over, and you'll be like, "Why? Why is it done?
But why is it over?
It's only been 10 minutes. I've only been reading for 10 minutes. It'll be longer than 10 minutes, but it will feel like 10 minutes because it's that good." Step 1, poor high school teenage boy werewolf.
As if puberty wasn't enough.
Correct.
Also, high school wasn't enough.
Also, he had to switch schools. Also, he's a werewolf. Also, he's got obligations. Also, there are were-penguins.
Were-penguins. Were-penguins.
Which is amazing.
I love them. I love everything about them. And and I'm not going to tell you the answer, but going into the book, you might wonder, are they just people that turn into penguins when they get cold, maybe? Are they werewolf penguins? So they've got like, have you seen a penguin's mouth? There's a lot of teeth in there. So like, are they werewolf penguins? Are they wolves that turn into penguins? Who knows? You've got to read the book.
Got to read the book to find out.
But here's the great thing, right? Like, we are giving you fair warning. So you have plenty of time to go and purchase book 1, The Black Wolves of Boston.
Which I have.
And read all about it.
Right there.
So once again, 4638, maybe the very handsome producer Jeremy can take care of that for us. I'm just really going to milk this whole complimentary bit for as long as I can.
I mean, he does look great, you guys.
And so, yes. So go read Black Wolves of Boston. Come back. Let us know what you thought of it. And then in September, pick up Black Tie and Tails. Because by the time you finish reading Black Wolves of Boston, you will desperately crave it. Like, ferally crave it.
Ferally. And then, if you're like, what does Wen Spencer recommend that I read? There is a really cool blurb by Wen Spencer on the back of another book that comes out in September. That one!
Yay! And as we have mentioned, in August, you can get a free teaser short story that is so good. So good.
Thanks.
So, but leads
into it. So, yes, you'll meet Dagore for free on Baen.com. And then you will only see a few glimpses of him in the novel. But don't worry, he has assured me that he will show up again.
And those few glimpses better in the novel are enough to make you go, Team Dagore. And made
himself in Lady.
Because that's awesome.
And
so you may be asking yourself, is there a lot of romance in A Plague of Magic? And no, there is not. Seema's entire world and life fall completely apart. She has no time for romance. If you want just like a really gorgeous tension-filled romance in your fantasy, your action adventure sword and sorcery fantasy, you want Mage Light. If you want a slow burn, they idiots, but they idiots in love. And you want that like building slow heat, you want Rise from Ruin. If you want enemies to colleagues, or you want hot underworld boss X, maybe future, tensiony regret in just one scene, just like 1.5 scenes.
But it's enough, man. It's so good. Yeah.
Come check out A Plague of Magic. A Plague of Magic is the story it's really summed up, I think, by the tagline on the cover that Tony came up with, because she's amazing, which is a big score, a little dragon, a whole lot of trouble. Magic is outlawed. Good luck with that.
For good reason.
For very good. I mean, it just ended the world.
Yeah. It destroyed everything.
Yeah. People lived. They rebuilt. It took a couple hundred years, but they're here. fine. And good luck. Good luck outline gravity or water or magic.
Oxygen.
Breathing the ocean. But the gods are drowned. It's a whole new world. We'll see what happens. So Plague of Magic, Seema, worst couple of days of her entire life, and you get to go on the ride with her.
Yeah. So good. Plus, did we mention tiny, angry dragon?
He's so tiny and he is
so angry.
So angry.
He real disgusted with
he's
the world.
Real mad.
Yeah.
Real mad. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, yeah.
I woke up for this.
Tiny.
You woke me up for this?
So angry.
Like just a little tiny.
He's adorable. I love him so much.
Yes. It's worse because he's cute, right? Like you see him and you just want to be like, oh my God, you're so cute. I just want to hold him. He's like, I will eat your fucking face.
Yeah. He's like, I will roast you.
He's like that meme from like Australia. Like everything in Australia can kill you. It's just some of them aren't big enough.
Everything wants to kill you. Like this little guy, he can't kill you. He wants to.
He wants to.
Yeah.
But he's not going. Yeah.
But to be clear, tiny angry dragon could kill. If provoked, tiny angry dragon, Hundo P could and would commit murder. So
and he's real close to being provoked. Like, that provocation is there.
Eva didn't ask for any of the things that happened. And neither did Tiny Angry Dragon. And those two butting heads is brilliant every time. Just you get to watch them like slowly stop, like
yeah. And it's great too, because it's kind of banter, but it's also like banter tends to be more fun. This is more like sniping, right? It's like advanced banter.
It's pointy. It's a pointy banter.
Yeah, for sure. And I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah. I mean, look, whomst amongst us hasn't been having an amazing nap and just getting all the sleep we want, and then some dumb bitch wakes us up and drags us into an age of the world that we have no business being in. Whomst amongst us? How would you react?
I probably shouldn't let you call my daughters some dumb bitch, but yes, that is a bad.
I do not mean your children.
Well, but that's exactly who wakes you up in that fashion is your children.
Sometimes it's dogs. Sometimes it's some idiot calling you and your phone was not on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah.
But and you're probably not being woken up in like the wrong century, so that's okay. But the point stands. Whomst amongst us has not been woken up from a very beautiful nap, unhappily and unexpectedly. So yeah, that's Plague of Magic that comes out in September.
So exciting.
That's crazy.
It's so exciting.
So good. I'd also like to mention, you guys, that Marisa wrote this 150,000+ word novel in 5 weeks. And it was epic.
She's amazing.
I mean, thank you. It was insane, and I do not recommend it. But it was also, I put in probably 3 months worth of hours into those 5 weeks.
Oh yeah, you did.
I don't think we slept.
We did. Yeah, we were insane.
Yeah.
I would
Casey
also
occasionally slept, but Melissa and I were like, it's 3 a.m. Let's go.
Let's keep going. I wrote Salvage Bunny 4. She wrote Plague of Magic. It was our husbands were exasperated.
Y'all bitches are crazy.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I do believe I might have challenged you to do it.
You did. Yep. It wasn't even a challenge. It was like the most support, because Kacey has thrown down the challenges, and like I cannot be told what to do, but I can be provoked by a good challenge, and Kacey's real good at it. But guys, here I was. I had just written this super fun freaking novel with one of my best friends called Blood of Her Father, which we also wrote in a number of weeks, like a small number of weeks. I think also 5. Yeah.
It was also 5, yeah.
And then I was like, well, now I'm just like alone in my head. Like I'm not like, I'm still talking to Kacey every day, but like we're not brainstorming things and coming up with fun little twists of things that weren't actually in our outline, but made total sense. And see if you can figure out those storylines, my friends. But like Blood of Her Father, so good. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do. And I guess I'll start to work on my fantasy novel. But you know, I probably can't get it done in time to like be a part of the feral, or it wasn't feral yet, but like you guys both have fantasy novels and maybe I can get it done. And Kacey's like, maybe get it done. Just get it done. Get it done in time. And I was like, that's crazy. It's like, I think at the time it was like 10 weeks. Because then I actually reached out and it was 5 and it's fine. But I was like, I don't think I can do it that fast. And Kacey's like, can't you though? We just wrote a book in 5 weeks. I feel like you can. And I was like, and Melissa immediately, because we have one brain cell between the two of us. Melissa immediately was like, I mean, I got to write Salvage Bunny 4. Let's go. I'll join you. Let's do it.
Ride or die.
And then Kacey was like, you know what? I have to finish Shadow Card Guardian. And she didn't have quite as far to go because she already had made a bunch of progress. So she did get to sleep during this crazy period. But Melissa, who also works a full-time day job and has children, nope, just did not sleep. And I just did not sleep. And we finished out the year.
We got it done.
There was a lot of this.
Yeah.
A lot of caffeine.
Yeah.
Probably not good for my heart, but you know what?
It's fine. It's just one time. Just one time. Yeah. But I will say, so after I reread it a couple of times and like it went in, there were a couple of things that Griffin Barber, amazing editor, incredibly talented writer in his own right. There were a couple of things he's like, what does this mean? And I was like, this means I hadn't slept in several days when I wrote it. And then every time I read it again, my brain was like, no, this is fine. It was not fine. Narrative it was not fine.
It was not fine.
I was reading this too, but like, again, sharing the brain cell and equally exhausted. Like, this makes sense. I know exactly what Marisa means, Griffin. Why don't you? Oh,
why don't you?
So, fun fact, I also read it and didn't have an issue. Yep. And I was sleeping. Yep.
I love it. Yeah. So, this is why Griffin is very good at his job.
Yeah, we might be a little too codependent.
I read each other's brains. Yeah. It was, to be clear, it wasn't like a huge plot hole or something, but it was like a sentence that just stopped. It just, the sentence was not over. Yes. Yeah. The sentence was not over, but the words were. So the thought was not complete. And then also, thank God again for editors and Griffin and wonderfulness. I just talked about this on another podcast recently, but there was a magic crossbow. Like at no point, no, that's not true. Several hundred pages before, I had reference to the fact that Harvin had a crossbow. I think he didn't use it. He considered using it. I never, ever, 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 ever mention it again until approximately 400 pages later when he used it. And it made total sense that he used it. But Griffin was like, where the fuck did this come from? And I was like, what do you mean? I talked about it on like page 10. So when for page 580, I mentioned it on page 10. Everyone knows. Gotta work those references in before you magically use a crossbow. It's fine.
Oh, man.
But this is what happens when you write a book in 5 weeks. Your brain's like, totally makes sense. Totally.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
And your codependent best friends are not going to catch it. Don't count.
Because they're in your brain too.
We talked about it so much. I'm like, yep, this checks out. Everything works. So
I totally get it.
All this action is right. Like, yep, this works. But again, no plot holes. So hooray, all of us. That was pretty great. And you know what? When I realized 70,000 words into this novel that I needed a second point of view character.
Yep.
I do remember that.
Fine. Yeah. It's fine. Just at the halfway, but it's fine. Bright side. So Seema is my main character. She is a former thief. They're kind of, it's a young person's game, and they're going to age out of it gracefully and go straight and do things. Harvin is basically a secret agent of the ruling council. And it was really important to me that he worked, like that he worked as a man, that he worked as a man in his position. As a cop, as a special agent, as, you know, special forces kind of guy. And our editor, amazing, has law enforcement experience, is a dude, like, isn't like, he's kind of a guy, like he's a man. And he was like, check. This scene gave me actual flashbacks. Check. And I was like, excellent. That's how they went. So if you're like, I don't know if I can read a female protagonist, one, you're probably not watching the show. But because why would you be here?
Right.
But if you have hesitations about them, let me strongly recommend all three of these books for all of the books for Feral Fantasy for this summer, because the women are full people and characters. The men are full people and characters. The dudes don't have to look dumb for the women to shine, and vice versa.
Super confident, which is super hot.
Yeah. Because as we mentioned, everybody's hot, and it's really hard to be hot when you're an idiot
or weak or a wimp, like
or whiny.
Yes.
All right, wait. I do have a caveat on that one. Alice is whiny at the beginning of Mage Light.
She has
for good reason.
For reasons.
Yeah.
Well, and it's her starting point from which she grows. So
yes.
I would also like to point out that Callum is and always will be a dickhead. He's never going to grow out of that, but he's still hot.
Of course he is.
For reasons she really isn't always sure of.
Callum's like fuckboy hot, right? Where you're like, oh yeah, I can see how some woman would find that attractive.
It's not for me.
Smart for that bullshit.
Yeah, I'm too old. I've outgrown that nonsense.
Not for me. Thank you so much.
So, if any of you,
I'm just gonna sit here with my popcorn.
I was gonna say, so any of you dumb fuckboys we may have known in our younger years are out there going like, you fell for it. Yeah, I was 20.
Move along. Move along. I've since married an incredibly hot man.
Correct. Not a fuckboy. Awesome man.
Not a fuckboy.
Right. Anyway, unrelated. Somewhat related. But Callum, I know we got to wrap up in a sec, but Callum, my comments to Melissa in Rise from Ruin were basically every time I saw Callum, I was just like, fuck Callum, in various levels of capital letters. And then there was the point of like, God damn it, am I sad about Callum? And then fuck you, Melissa, for making me sad about Callum.
That was a big one.
It was big, many caps, many curses. And then I was quite relieved when I could yet again say, fuck Callum. I was like, there it is. Fuck him. So,
he is actually, I will say, having read book 2, he is actually one of my favorite characters because
it's not that I don't like him. It's just he provokes the reaction.
Sure. Yeah. Because he's, you get to see a little bit of the growth of the fuckboy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it's a little, no spoilers or anything, but it's a little bit like if you watch Ted Lasso, which is my current obsession.
I love Ted Lasso. Jamie Tart
of it all. Where like
I haven't actually watched this show yet, but yes, I've seen enough clips to go,
Where like Jamie starts and he is a fuckboy. He's hot.
No pee.
Such a dick.
Such a dick.
So annoying. Like every time he opens his mouth, I'm like, oh God, here it goes again. And then there is a point where I'm like, they're all my favorite, but I'm like, he is my favorite. Like every time he's on screen, I'm like, Jamie.
Yeah.
He's so cute.
He is. Yes. That's a lot of the same energy that Callum brings to the table, especially the points in Ted Lasso where Jamie opens his mouth and accidentally says something very profound and healthy. Like, I think at one point someone asks him, would you rather be a lion or a panda? And he was like, Coach, I'm me. Why would I want, I'm me. Why would I want to be anything else? And Coach Lasso actually goes, I don't believe you realize how healthy that is. Like that kind of shit. That's fucking Callum energy right there.
Fuck Callum. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Anyway, read the books so you can join our unhinged commentary. And we will likely be in this chat when this premieres. But even if we are not, go ahead and leave your comments. If it's not the premiere and you're catching us later, go ahead and leave comments. Let us know what you think. We will respond because it's what we do. We can't help ourselves. And
not only respond, we'll escalate.
Unlike the escalator at the Marriott that refuses to escalate, we will escalate. Anyway, so this is our new channel. We now have a channel dedicated to feral ladies. So if you have not already, please to subscribe so that you can be one of the first to get the feralness. You're welcome. If you enjoyed yourself even a little, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. We love it. Let us know what you think. We hope you're having a good time. Tell us what you're feral for, because do we have a question, you guys, for everybody?
Are you feral for fantasy?
Do you want to be?
Yeah, you do. All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.